Hi, and welcome to another EPiC Insight from the performance business. My name is Mike McNulty. Today I'm going to talk to you about being in the moment. And this is very relevant to you as a speaker. So I'm going to look at it at perhaps a fresh angle, an angle you haven't looked at before. I want you to think about being in the moment in terms of the past, the present, and the future. You know, the great enemy of being in the moment is procrastination. We've all been there, haven't we? You know, when we have a coffee, when we should be going off to work, when we get distracted by Facebook or other social media, when we should be, I don't know, going for a run or something like that. What else? Daydreaming, when we should be listening in class, listening to an expert when we already know what we should be doing. Blah, blah, blah. There's a whole range of different cunning strategies that we all fall into when we procrastinate. So being in the moment really is, first of all, understanding the relationship of being present and being in the present as opposed to being in the past or being in the future. And the notions of past, present and future are really critical frames for how we communicate. For instance, the past is the rich well from our experience that we can tap into. The future is the anticipation, the excitement and vision of what the actions of today can engender for you and your audience tomorrow, right? The present is very often the element that is given least thought and attention. And yet, this is where, through action, that being present can enable the rich learnings of the past and the exciting visions of the future to be communicated. So how can we stay present? I've got a process that I hope will help you understand how we can become more present more frequently, as a reminder of what present feels like. The first thing I think we need to do is to be in contact or connection with our bodies. And one of the best ways to do that is to breathe, to practice breathing skills that take the breath right into your core, past your solar plexus and into your diaphragm, and obviously to fill your lungs. And get that breath to fill your body so that you feel that right now, rather than not being aware of that at all. When we're not aware of our breathing patterns and things that we're doing all the time, i.e. presently, then it's easy for us to then lose concentration and attention. And this is one way to get our breath patterns right and to really be aware of our breathing, that we can stay in the present. The other, notion that I would offer to you is ask yourself this question. What are you doing right now? What action are you completing right now? And I want you to consider something I call the hierarchy of control for every action you are doing right now. And there's 5 elements to that. Firstly, consider your action, the things that you are doing. Consider your thoughts about this action. Consider your feeling towards the action. Consider your emotions towards this action. And consider your physicality about this action. So it's really like deconstructing things we do every day and just getting to get a more hypersensitive feeling about what it is we're doing. And by doing that, we raise the antennae of our presence monitor, if you like, of being in the moment. And it's a way of, I suppose, of measuring how present we are at any particular time. And this is a really good tactic to use when we're listening to other people. Make sure we don't get distracted by thoughts that are either in the past or the future, right? It's the present that counts at any particular time. Not being present, it's easy. You know, there's plenty of worries, plenty of bills to pay, there's kids to get to school, there's, there are doctors' appointments to make, there's reports to write, there's parents, if we're teenagers, there's parents to resent or begrudge, you know, there's all these feelings that get in the way of really being present. Another level you can go to in order to really road test how present you are is to think about the type of focus that you're applying to any particular situation. And there are two types of focus that I want you to consider. The first one is internal focus. Why are you doing the action that you're doing? As in, how does it fit in the whole big scheme of things right now? That's the internal focus. The external focus, the material elements around you really, is what action are you doing? So that's much more about the tactical, what are you doing now, as opposed to how does that fit in with the bigger scheme of things. And this is about getting your focus and the relationship between the two absolutely compatible, synchronized, if you like. And then we come back to the breath, get that breath sorted. Now, this maybe sounds like there's a lot of things to think about, but it's really just creating new habits, creating fresh habits that are going to help you to be in the moment more often. So I'm going to suggest a challenge for you for this week is see how you can monitor how present you are when you're listening to people around you. And once you're feeling comfortable with that, then apply that same measure, as we've just described, to when you're speaking as well. Good luck.